Do you hear the cuckoo? So we learned from some Swiss pilgrims that when you hear the cuckoo, if you have money in your pocket, it means good luck and good fortune for a year. And I always got money in my pocket.
Good morning.
Buongiorno. I'm Brian.
I'm Michelle.
We are cruising with the Colemans and we're about to climb that big old hill.
So we stopped to say good morning before because you all don't need to hear us huffing and puffing.
Today is day 25, I believe.
It is the halfway mark.
And we are walking to Fornovo and then on just a little bit.
Just a little bit because tomorrow's a really big day. The guidebook says it's the most challenging day, which
I thought they said that about the one town before the Great Seibert Pass.
I think it might say it a couple of times.
Yeah, wow.
But that's okay. It's day 25. It is our halfway. Now that means it's our halfway of our planned walking days. We have taken, of those days, I think two days that we turned into a rest day. So we've walked actually 23 of the 25 and bussed ahead a little bit, which was our plan all along. Because again, pilgrimage on holiday, it has been absolutely stunning, but sometimes you gotta have balance.
It's also not quite the halfway point on our mileage yet.
Right.
We know coming in that the second half of the trip we had longer days.
Which we were also looking forward to because you need that first half to settle in, to get your legs to agree with what you're doing.
So in a couple of days when you hear us say we've made the halfway point, realize that it's the halfway time of today distance. And then the halfway distance coming up later this week.
Well, let's get to it. We're delaying the hill.
Yeah, I'm procrastinating.
I think it might be our only really big hill of the day today. So it's not bad. And there's going to be a view up there that we are really excited about. So let's go.
All right, andiamo.
It's sad when you can't even see the top.
You know, the funny thing is the camera, it doesn't look nearly as steep on the camera as what it really is.
All right, so we started there and we walked down the road, off the camera a little bit, and then up, zigzagging.
And then right in front of that tree line is where we did our intro.
Yeah.
And you can see that double track down in front of the trees. That's what we've walked up.
Hasn't even been.
The tree line to here was a little less than a kilometer.
But from where we started, we're just under 2 kilometers. It's been a morning already. Every part of our body is dripping with sweat.
When we left there 3 kilometers ago, I think it was about 70 degrees. Right now it's about 900.
It feels like an oven right now. But that's what we want. That's what we want, right? We want those mountains. We want those views.
And guess what happens when you get to the top of the hill? There's another hill.
Oh, Brian, look at the field. Those are all swans. Oh.
Can you see these swarms of gnats on camera? They look like dust clouds up ahead. I walk into a bar for 2 minutes and I come back out and this is what I find. Are you comfortable?
My hips are a little wide for it. But otherwise, yeah, thank you very much. I am. It's in the shade and I'm creating wind.
I'm not going to say anything about creating wind.
Now we need to go on.
Go. We are at the 8.5 kilometer point from the religious community that we started at this morning, just prior to Cella. And we are actually leaving the VF to take a recommended shortcut. The VF climbs up on top of that hill and wanders around for a little bit before crossing back down to this road to then cross the river. We're just taking a shortcut. We're staying on the road, which is actually a really nice bike path, and then crossing the river. It'll cut off about 1.5 kilometers or so, and it cuts out a very big hill. We are at 11 kilometers, and the VF has just joined us from down that road, and we are now crossing with it to cross the river and head on to Fornovo. There was a warning in the book that this stream could be a dangerous crossing in periods of heavy rain. Today it's just a dangerous crossing because it's there's no water in it.
It's very dry and slippery.
Peekaboo. This is the Taro River, another large river that is almost completely dried up. We walked alongside that giant white building and then crossed the Taro on that bridge, and are now a quarter to a third of the way up our big hill.
We got 2 kilometers to go past the stage, which it's gonna help us tomorrow, because tomorrow is the longest and hardest stage on the entire Via Francigena.
Well, according
to the guidebook.
For this section, because it said that before.
So.
Third switchback of 5 or 6.
5. But we have a beautiful bed and breakfast waiting for us, and she's making us dinner.
Buongiorno.
Good morning.
It is day 26 on the Via Francigena. This morning we started just a little bit past Fornovo, which is the guidebook beginning of the stage.
So this stage has 2 different suggestions. In the Slow Ways app, it suggests making basically the next 2, what we have as the next 2 days, turning it into 3 days. Sandy Brown's book that we're following has it as 2 days, but when you read it, when you read it, it says you can make this into 3 days. We missed that part. We didn't miss it the last time when we split a stage into 2, just our last 2 days. We missed it. It's fine. But so we helped ourselves along today.
Non-purist pilgrims, remember?
So this is a 32-kilometer stage, and it is all uphill.
There are a couple of downhills, but overall it has more than 1,000 meters of gain, which is a lot.
How much is that in feet?
About 3,000.
Yeah, so.
So we've taxied ahead. There is a bus route, but it only runs like on Thursdays and Saturdays or something odd like that. So we did not have any bus options. There's no train option here.
The funny thing was,
but there's a taxi.
We started 2 kilometers ahead in the stage, and then when the taxi picked us up, he took us back down the hill that we walked up. But we stayed at a really nice bed and breakfast.
Oh, it was a beautiful bed and breakfast.
We appreciate you, Manuela, for feeding us dinner last night and snacks. And
a comfortable bed.
Yes, and breakfast this morning. So we appreciate that.
So we've done a little fast forward ahead. We've climbed the bulk of the largest hill today. So saved ourselves probably about 3 hours of walking, give or take, and depending on how much we stopped. But we've now got the biggest climb, the steepest climb of the day is right in front of us.
We didn't want to miss all the fun. We had to get a little bit of a climb in today, and then we've got the steepest, and we've got, I think, 2 more big climbs. Yeah. It's still going to be a big day today.
Andiamo e oltre.
The high today, by the way, is 95 degrees Fahrenheit. There's another reason why we took a little fast forward.
Steep hills don't really show on camera. This is a steep hill.
Over to the
hill we're on is steeper than the incline on that roof.
And up we go. Where we stop, we don't even know.
We are in the land of Parmigiano Reggiano. Yes, please. Parmigiano?
See? See?
Vino?
See? Not right now, though.
The next 2 kilometers or so are as steep as what you see in front of you right now. And we're climbing over 200 meters. There probably will not be much more video than what you're getting right now. I gotta catch up. This is at least a 60% grade right here. There have been a couple of spots where I see rebar rungs sticking up out of the ground so that the trucks can have traction.
A four-wheeler would have a lot of fun with this. I am not a four-wheeler. We got straight to the top, swarms of gnats, and now straight back down.
At least there was a view.
There was a view.
And then we're about to go up again, and then up again. I'm not sure which one of those, but I think one of those. We have another pro hiking tip from the Via Francigena for you. So let's talk about hiking downhill. Hiking uphill is tough and it's a lot of work, but hiking downhill is actually more difficult on your body. So here's the deal. When you're walking downhill, especially if there's a lot of loose rocks, make sure your toes are always pointing forward. That's the way your foot is the most stable. A lot of people want to walk sideways and sidestep, but you're most likely to roll an ankle if you hit a rock just wrong doing that way. Another thing is, look for the place on your trail. Like we're on a little 2-track road here. Look for the place where there's the least loose rock, because that's going to slide out from under you and make you start to slip and slide down. So if you can find a spot that's more even or more packed, that's always best. And if you feel yourself starting to slip, fall backwards and land on your butt rather than falling forwards and landing on your arms, which is how you could break a wrist or have some other really serious injury.
Please, just tell me what's on your mind.
Without the shoes, that's how you get put up. Bouncy knees. Hiking poles in front. Keep your eyes on the ground.
Yeah, only do one thing at a time. If you're walking, walk. If you're messing with your phone, stop walking to mess with your phone.
Maybe we should walk away, just say goodbye and go separate ways.
Come on, birch face. Come on, birch.
I can feel it deep inside. We will never work this out. We will never work this out.
Yeah.
We have just finished our lunch stop in Casillo, starting a new stage, technically, according to the VF app. And we met up with our friend Zelly. Hi, Zelly.
Hello.
She's walking all the way from Canterbury, and she is from Ireland, walking at a faster pace than us most days.
She has half of our age, so. Remember that time when we were on the road and we were taking a shortcut? It was such easy walking. We were walking really fast, hanging out with our pilgrim friend. I'm gonna say newly adopted daughter, Zelly. It was great. Then we thought we'd get back on the path because it looked shorter
Than the road.
than the road.
And they looked like they had about the same elevation.
Let me just say, I gotta get to Rome to make up for all the cuss words I just said in the last 25 minutes.
Michelle needs a priest.
I'm in a very bad place right now, thankfully. Look at where we are. And we're walking downhill.
I think that last climb, we climbed about 200 meters over the course of about 2 kilometers.
Look, we're not going downhill. We're going this way because pilgrim's climb. Oop, we have actually conflicting signs. We go that way. Oh, it's because there's a church there.
Well, there might be a priest for you.
Nope. I'm sure there'll be more I have to pray for later. It won't be the last hill.
We have opted to stay on the road because the VF is coming down that hillside and touching the road right here before climbing up that hill. Whereas we're just staying on this nice slight downhill of the road. I think it might be the only thing easy we've done already.
We're almost out of water. It's the smartest thing to do.
We're about 2 to 3 kilometers away still. No?
We're 3.8. We're just under 4 kilometers away.
Okay. So if the walk stays like this, that should be about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes. I mean, seriously, what the f?
Don't say that on YouTube.
I just did. Just when you're ready to throw the guidebook over the side of the mountain, the VF becomes pretty and romantic.
Honestly.
And picturesque again.
It's not just the guidebook. I'm ready to throw Google Maps. Google Maps said that was mostly flat. Google Maps needs to redefine mostly flat.
Need a moat? Want some castle? It is a fixer-upper.